The Lloydminster Bobcats wrapped up their season this past weekend, losing their first round playoff matchup to the Drayton Valley Thunder, with the Thunder taking the series 4-1. Joining me now to sort of recap the Bobcats season as a whole is Lloydminster Bobcats head coach and general manager Nigel Dube. Nigel, thank you for taking this time and hopping on with me. Now, obviously, not quite the finish that the team would have hoped for. However, as a whole, the season still very, very successful.
Yeah, I thought the season, it wasn't the finish that we wanted, but at the same time, it was a great season. You look back at last year, we weren't able to play. So you go from a rebuilding team to not being able to play, and to come out this year and to finish fifth in the North Division, which is extremely tough division, and a lot of steps in the right direction. Two players committing to NCAA. Player committed to youth sport during the season. We'll have more to come on other ones. And then you have a top goaltender in Alberta Junior League that hasn't been done with the Bobcats for over 10 years. So outside of that, it was a great year. There was a lot of positives, a step in the right direction for the organization. We've seen phenomenal crowds down the stretch. The Border City, I thought, really got behind the group of guys that we had, and that group was special. They were great kids, and it made fun. It made it going to the rink every day fun, and it was just a lot of joy to be around that group. And I think it's an exciting future too, as well, in that room.
Now, last Friday's game was the final junior hockey game for a number of players on the team, specifically the 20-year-old graduating players. Now, Nigel, do you sort of have an overarching message for those 20-year-olds moving on?
Well, Chad McLean and Max Stewart played 3 years in the Bobcat jersey. And after the game on Friday, when we lost out, it's a special time, a sad time for the 20-year-olds when they're all done. We have 6 of them. But when we were able to have Chad McLean and Max Stewart be a part of our organization for 3 years, and really be the backbone of turning things around inside that dressing room, it was just a appreciation to them, a sincere appreciation to them for what they've done, and also for the roots that they've laid in Lloydminster, and both fan favorites. One's a penalty minute leader, and the other one's just a phenomenal hockey player. So those two guys, and Thorts has been with us for 2 years, and Finkeric came in, this season, and Ackle and Witz we acquired at the deadline. So a special 6 20-year-olds, I think, but just proud of what they were able to do. And I think they also taught our young guys a lot about the game and a lot about life.
And Nigel, on the flip side of that, let's talk about some of the young players who played a key role for the team this season. Really a plethora of youth coming up for the Bobcats. It's got to be pretty exciting just looking forward to the future.
Yeah, I think that was a big part. We were able to add pieces at the deadline without giving up our future, and that was even a bigger part. And you look at Leslie and Swanson up front, just 2 examples. Even a player like Connor Burke, I think he became one of the fan favorites down the stretch in the second half. And then on the back end, we didn't have a 20-year-old until the deadline. So we only brought in 1, and we had 7 that were under 20 at the time, and there's obviously some great pieces here to build around, and as a staff, it's our job now to continue to build around it so that we don't idle here, that we continue to take another step forward, and that's our plan. But just an exciting group, and that young group, we had our exit meetings, and that young group has high expectations for themselves. That I think that's going to push themselves and the team further too. I chatting with Nick Hugendorn, that's coming back for a 19-year-old season, and just what he knows, what he needs to work on, and his excitement already to get going on that, so he can be better next year. Chase Visser, we got Mason Franz as a 17-year-old. A nice mix. Jordan Borchuk, Ryan Schendel up front. They're just a good mixture of talent and role players. With great people, and I think that's exciting for us too as well.
Well, Nigel, thank you so much for taking this time and joining me as well. Thank you for the countless hours of entertainment you gave Bobcats fans over the season. This was Nigel Dube, head coach and general manager of the Lloydminster Bobcats.